God's love is furious, powerful, unfailing, and like no other force. Most of us have only ever glimpsed his vast affections, heard the whispers of his heart, and been touched by the passion for each and every one of us in part. And when we are exposed to the full revelation of his love, then we understand that hope resides in the power of an unfailing love that changes people, transforms neighborhoods, cities, and even nations. And if you've never known the power of God's love personally, maybe it's because you've never stopped and asked to know it or for it to be revealed to you. Welcome to this week's Hope from the Hills. The Bible says this: love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it's not self-seeking, it's not easily angered, and it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres, and love never fails. That's 1 Corinthians and chapter 13. So what does it mean when the Bible says that love never fails? Can we believe it? And doesn't love in fact fail and simply find itself far from enough in the midst of a world that is riddled with pain, suffering, disappointment, brokenness, and even breakdown? If we approach the Bible's decree and pronouncement on love like a list of behaviours that you and I are to somehow perform in order for love not to fail, then everything becomes fractured, a miscalculation that causes guilt, shame and condemnation. When we fail to personally perform, we condemn ourselves to becoming trapped upon the virtual hamster wheel of trying harder and better. Trying to perform love is simply missing the point. Having something and doing something are two different things when it comes to love. The actions and behaviours of doing love is poles apart from the freedom of having a love that we possess, own and experience. When we look upon love as just a word or a collected assembly of feelings, we sell ourselves short of what the Bible proclaims when it comes to this one word called love. For this love is about the love of God for us, or more accurately, it's about God himself. This is how God showed his love amongst us. He sent his one and only Son into the world that we might live through him. That's 1 John and chapter 4. So, you may find yourself in a condition where you're wondering how God could still possibly love you. Or could he never love you because of what you've done? But God has the final word on the definition of love. His love will not fail, and it will always accomplish that which it sets out to do, because your position as one of his children has not changed. His love for you still remains the same and is never based upon what you have done or indeed your condition. In this life you may well have failed, but the truth is the power of his love never ever fails. When we place our hope in the power of the love that is God's, rather than depending and centering our personal happiness upon the well-meaning but broken affections of people, then and only then will our trust be anchored into the solidity of a love that existed before the very foundations of the earth. A power-filled, targeted love made the most extravagant sacrifice to renew, to redeem, and to restore your life. A love that gave up heaven to experience the reality of our lack upon earth with us here. This is a love that will never cease to do what it's said to do, and it's a love that is never going to fail, because this love holds the final victory in outstretched arms for you and for me, and is embodied in what Jesus did upon Calvary's cross. When the focus and the source of your love is God, and when we accept the free love gift of salvation through Jesus' death and resurrection, then this love will never fail. It will never leave you, it will never disappoint you, and it will never let you go. Instead, it will always bring liberty, freedom, hope. This is where life truly begins, through the power of his love. I'll see you next time.